KGVO Missoula Sports Talk tonight and streaming online at Newstalk.KGVO.com.
Hello, Missoula.
Well, you changed mics on me?
Wow. Well, I just wanted to sit closer to Shannon Schweyen.
You can do that. I just need to know. You want to be on 3 over there by Shannon?
I want to be on 3.
All right, fine. Oh.
Hi. Does 3 work?
It does now.
Well, when you take that picture, I want to make sure that you get my face in there, too.
All right. I will. I promise. Right. Sporting your new Van Dyke or whatever you call that thing.
Wow, whatever. Hey, what, my white and
it looks good.
White and black goatee?
Yeah, very handsome.
Goatees are allowed on Sports Talk tonight.
Yes, sir, they are.
And that is where we are at. It is December the 6th. It is dark outside. Winter is fast approaching, but we're still here.
Mm-hmm.
We are coming to you live from the KGVO studios. We are streaming worldwide on Newstalk.KGVO.com, on the AM dial 1290, on the FM side 98.3. Follow us on Twitter at Sports Talk Back. Podcast online at Newstalk.KGVO.com. And, of course, our phone number, 721-1290, with, if it's long distance, the area code 406, because, like I said, we are worldwide.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. Smells good in here. Shannon's wearing some vanilla something going. We had a store when I was in high school. It was called Archibald Sisters. And it is still there. And they had every single, if you wanted to buy your girlfriend a gift, they had lotion and perfume. And I mean, my girlfriend in high school, Jamie Cangelosi, got a lot of vanilla.
Uh-huh.
And
you recognized that right away, I could tell.
I did.
Yeah.
But anyways, Shannon in studio with us. We're going to be talking about the exceptional weekend that her and her Lady Griz had.
Yes, sir.
In the classic, couple of victories against some California schools. Are those California schools still standing, Denny?
Everybody's standing, but for the benefit of those who maybe have not heard, and obviously we got a lot of Griz fans in the audience on Sports Talk tonight expecting University of Montana men's basketball tonight. That ain't going to happen because
they were scared of us.
That's right, yeah. The 23rd ranked team in the nation decided that
LeVar Ball said they're not playing us.
LeVar Ball can't help us tonight, so we'll just cancel the game. Because of wildfires, I thought that was so weird. I go on the air this afternoon. Here it is, December 6th, and I'm saying, because of wildfires, a basketball game has been canceled. And that's what happened because some of those wildfires in the Los Angeles area getting very, very close to the UCLA campus. And officials just felt for safety and health concerns, we are canceling tonight's University of Montana Grizzly at UCLA basketball game. That was scheduled. It was a late start, too. It was scheduled to tip off at 9 o'clock our time tonight. That game has been canceled. Overhearing YouTube before we went on the air, no plans for rescheduling that game. Just can't be done, I guess. And so there goes an opportunity to play UCLA, but our thoughts are definitely with all those folks affected by that down there.
And Shannon knows as much as anybody does. It's tough alone just to get a game scheduled, let alone try to squeeze it back into a season. It's just not going to happen unless they want to come up here or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's top on their list.
Yeah.
Missoula in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Although maybe to get away from the fire.
You ever had any weird postponements or cancellations of games, either as a player or a coach?
You know, last year we came close when we went out to Iowa. We were planning on leaving 2 days prior to the game. We missed the flight the first day. It was canceled. Then the next day, we ended up not getting in until midnight. We were scheduled to play at 9 a.m. the next day. So we were a little concerned we might not make it. Yeah. And I know in our conference, Portland State had some ice storms one year. They canceled the games, but they ended up staying and playing on Sunday. Everybody flew back out on Monday. But not in my time. I know Annette and Rob back in the day played in one of the, it was like, I believe it was what is equivalent to the NCAA tournament now. They showed up for the game and their hotel was on fire. That was an interesting one. Down in Louisiana somewhere.
Didn't they play when the peach baskets were up?
I think so.
Oh, stop it.
So.
What?
But no, I haven't had any weird postponements that I can think of. Pipes froze down at Montana State one year. Game was delayed for the Bobcat Griz, but that's about it.
Yeah, stuff happens, right?
It does. I was trying to think if anything. Nope. Can't say that it has.
Nothing strange. And
although
you were next on the question list on that. I couldn't think of any football events that had been canceled by then, just because they play so many
Tailgating.
more basketball games and there's so much more traveling. But
Well,
yes, Kearns is
one of them
Kearns is out tailgating. Game is postponed.
He's had statewide tailgate show accidents before.
about
But,
4 years ago when we played Tennessee down there in Knoxville.
there was a long delay for that one.
The heavens opened, and
I'll say.
I have never seen rain and thunder, lightning, and rain, and it was like rivers running down the stairs
Right.
onto the field, and people were kind of underneath the inside, where by the restrooms and the concession stands, and I mean there was 6 inches of standing water in like 10 minutes, it was all gone. I mean the storm blew away, and it was ready to. The drainage was amazing.
Yeah.
I've never seen it rain as hard as that.
Yeah.
Never ever.
So that is your Montana Grizzly basketball update. Again, our apologies, out of our control, of course, but there will be no University of Montana Grizzly game on the radio tonight, and the team is not going to come back home prior to going to Atlanta. Weird road trip. They were scheduled to play UCLA tonight, and then I assume, even though it was only Thursday, leaving for Atlanta tomorrow, which is probably still the plan, but they won't play Georgia State until Saturday afternoon, so little more downtime than scheduled for that road trip, but
I think they already left. To be honest with you,
did they already take off?
Well, let me check that.
Really?
All right,
Maybe they want to get out of there.
yeah,
I could be very wrong, which
right.
is usually the case. Hey, we have ourselves a new football coach, Denny.
We do.
A lot of speculation last Wednesday, and all of that came true as Bobby Houck has been hired as they're going to call it the 37th
Yeah,
coach.
Yeah.
Kind of ironic.
poetic or whatever. Yeah. In fact, our trivia has a little something to do with that, but I didn't get a chance to see him. We were doing our annual fundraiser, Christmas for Kids, on Friday, and so I did not get to go to the press conference. We did swap a text, and he has been in here. He was in here Saturday morning on our statewide hunting and fishing show, which I'm usually a part of, but opted to take this Saturday off. I only do that about twice a year. And wouldn't you know it, the captain, Mark Ward of the Montana Outdoor Radio Show, who knows Bobby, says, hey, why don't you come down and be on the show for a little while on Saturday morning? So, but I haven't had a chance to see him yet to give him a big congrats, handshake, and hug, but we swapped a text or two. So
yeah,
he'll see plenty of me and you when he gets settled in. So.
I went and saw him Friday afternoon, and he was just I'm sure he had cramps in his cheeks from smiling so much. That whole thing with the announcing of the head coach and the speculation and the people other news sources trying to break it first, and 8 unnamed sources have said. I don't know that 8 people actually knew officially what was going on. And I think one of those reporters used to work at the Missoulian, and he was fired for unethical practices, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
So everybody's
it was one of those things
in a hurry to break something.
So it was officially unofficial or unofficially official for a week. And, why do you feel the need to try to be first and break something and just kind of come off a little awkwardly, frankly?
Misinformation and,
yeah.
These coaches are staying, and they've been hired when actually they hadn't. They're still under contract. Everybody's still under contract. I mean, just a bunch of weird stuff. And the university made their announcement on Friday morning, and that was good.
Yeah,
that was good. And we got Bobby Houck. Shannon, you being over there in the Adams Center, what's the vibe? What was the vibe on Friday, and how's it been this week?
Well, I think people are relieved to finally be moving forward. People are excited about Bobby. It was an unfortunate situation for Coach Stitt. You always hate as a coach to see anyone lose their job like that, and that these people have families and lives of their own, and they've got to pick up and move on. But I think everybody's really fired up to get Bob in there. I think for me, when I read a lot of the stories, the biggest advocates for him were hearing his players speak about the way that Bobby drove them and made them believe that they were going to win every ball game, and I just thought that spoke volumes.
Yeah, and you know what? I was a Bob Stitt advocate. I mean, remember after the Cat game, Denny, I came in here and
and
basically was begging, say, hey, give this guy a chance.
Yeah.
And you know what? They went a different direction. It is what it is. And now moving forward, I think that there was no other choice besides Bobby Houck, and tickled to death that he's here. And this summer when he made that comment, he might have made it when we were on air out there at the Fort Missoula, Denny, bringing the band back together.
I was trying to think. We interviewed. That was at a fundraising promotion, and there was a lot of former Griz celebrities out there. And we got to visit with Bobby along with about 6 or 7 other guys. It kind of became a blur after a while, but I couldn't remember what all he'd referenced in that little interview. But it was great to see him, and he was just
he looked happy to be there.
Well, you were there,
and in spite of that, he looked happy to be there. No, there's just a genuine. You're right. Just a genuine sincerity about the guy. Because he's in Montana.
Yeah. And you know what? There is something to be said for, having a Montana guy lead the University of Montana. And in fact, I was reading the article about that recruit that we got that committed up in Kalispell, Max Morris, I believe. And that was he kept harping on it, that Bobby was a Montana guy. And he had grown up.
One of his boyhood idols.
Watching Bobby coach and we're there on the same page, and it was just like, wow, love fest already. But hey, we'll take it and onward and upward.
Yeah. Well, we'll make sure that Coach Howe comes on Sports Talk tonight as soon as he possibly can. I suppose he's got a few other things to do ahead of us, but we'll get him on there.
Well, nothing is more important than us, Denny, but we will give him a pass.
Yeah.
At least this week.
Yeah, thankfully, Coach Schweyen, I gave her all of about 30 hours notice, but she was nice enough to come on in here today.
Well, she was prepping last night for our show.
I was.
She was studying hard.
You were prepping? We don't prep.
Denny, we got some trivia, I believe.
We do, and that's brought to you by Fuddruckers and Happy Days Car Wash. We are at 721-1290. If you know the answer to this week's trivia, and our winner gets, of course, a gift card for the Works Car Wash at Happy Days Car Wash. You want the best car wash in town. You want an awesome new vac system. You can use vacs from either side of your vehicle. You go to Happy Days Car Wash on Brooks between Fairbridge Inn and Pizza Hut. So Works gift card for that. And also from Fuddruckers, our friends at the home of the world's greatest hamburgers. Fuddruckers, whatever you order off that menu, you get to top it yourself. You tell them how you want it cooked. They call out your name. You come up and get it, and then you just pile on the toppings. Go crazy there at Fuddruckers on North Reserve. So $10 gift certificate to Fuddruckers if you can answer our question at 721-1290. Well, as we mentioned, Bobby Houck becomes the 37th head coach in University of Montana Grizzly football history. He was also the 33rd. And, of course, he is a University of Montana grad. Now, you would expect Montana graduates to lead the way with the most head coaches in school history. They do. But what university has produced the second most Grizzly head coaches? Is that A, Illinois, B, West Point, or C, Colorado? 721-1290. Montana graduates lead the way with the most head coaches in school history, but one university has produced the second most. Is that A, Illinois, B, West Point, or C, Colorado? 721-1290. Gurns, I'm hankering for a winner.
Give us a call. We will change your tax bracket. We'll be right back. Sports Talk tonight.
Winter advisories, storm watches, and
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
We're back. Sports Talk tonight, brought to you in part by the Orange Street Food Farm, a locally owned and operated grocery store featuring the freshest fruits and vegetables, fresh meats, and a great beer and wine selection. By Grizzly Liquor, located downtown next to the Iron Horse. Big Sky, big selection, and online at grizzlyliquor.com. And by the Ranch Club, golf, dining, entertainment, events. Oh, and did I say golf?
Yes, you did.
And the incredible pool. Visit them online at ranchclub.com, located just off Mullen Road. Denny, I do believe we have a trivia master on the line.
Well, we do. It is Grant Berg of Lolo. How are you tonight there, Grant?
I'm doing quite well, and you gentlemen?
Oh, we're doing all right. Well, we got Coach Shannon Schweyen in here. That always makes for a good sports talk
and
tonight.
lady.
So, yes, yep, she's here too. And we appreciate you calling in and being a listener. Bobby Houck, 37th head coach in UM Grizzly football history. Of course, that number 37, the legacy jersey number as well. He was also number 33. He is a Montana grad, and you'd figure the Montana graduates would lead the way with the most head coaches in school history. What university has produced the second most? Is that A, Illinois, B, West Point, or C, Colorado? What do you think there, Grant Berg?
A, Illinois.
You know, it's kind of like our current situation with Bobby. Do you want to count Bobby as 2 or 1? Illinois produced 3 or 4, but either way, that's the second most. H.B. Conabear, the famous H.B. Conabear, 1903 to 04. Bernard Oakes, 31 to 34. And then Doug Fessenden had 2 stints. He was the coach from 1935 to 1941, and then again from 1946 to 1948. Bobby Houck, by the way, is the 10th or 11th head coach, depending on your point of view, from the University of Montana. But, yeah, number 2 is Illinois. Good job there, Grant. We appreciate you listening, and we'll get your prize packages mailed out to you, all right?
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, pal. Grant Berg from Lolo, our latest winner, Girth.
Well, another Bitterrooter, Denny.
Yeah.
Gotta love them. They are our main audience.
They
I would
are
say.
our heart and soul, yes.
They are.
Mhm.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we have got our very special guest. This must be your, 4th appearance on Sports Talk tonight.
At least.
At least.
You
You didn't bring Brian. I will forgive you this once.
I didn't invite Brian.
Got mesmerizing eyes.
I hope that's not rude.
Nope. You got to stay home and get dinner ready.
I corralled you at the coaches show yesterday.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
It's not rude. He's just going to be home, and he will brood.
Yeah. Well, tell him we'll have him on by himself sometime.
That sounds
We
good.
won't.
No, we won't.
But tell him we will.
Tell him that, though. Just
Get in line behind Bobby Houck, man.
Well, hey, Shannon, I think everybody knows about the trials and tribulations of last year with all the injuries and you taking over for the glorious Robin Selvig. Looking to come in this year, getting healthy, and dang it, the injury bug hits again, and had a really, really tough preseason, early season schedule. But I tell you what, little home cooking did the trick this weekend at the Grizzly basketball tournament, huh?
Yeah, the Lady Griz Classic.
Yes.
Yeah, it was great. It was nice to get back home. Obviously, a really tough schedule with Kentucky, Marquette, Gonzaga. When we had all that in mind, we were thinking we'd obviously have Kaylee and Alicia, and we were fired up to have that competitive of a schedule, hoping maybe we could make some noise, knock some people off. But I'm really proud of the way the girls competed through that stretch. I truly didn't know what we would see in that stretch of games. I wasn't sure if we'd get blown out by one of them or blown out by all of them. And, the girls competed and tied with Kentucky at half. And we were in the game with Gonzaga. The girls played really well at Marquette. So it was just really promising. And I think they feel good about what they did in that stretch. And they feel like those games really made them better.
Well, then, and looking, kids are fickle and kids are weird. And I could see it very easily going into that start with 0-5 and going, oh, man. Here we go. Next year all over again. But they come back and rebound for a couple of really good wins this last weekend.
They did. Fullerton coming in, they'd won at Santa Clara. They had a couple good wins, beat Portland. So, every game for us, we talked about it's going to be tough. And the ladies just came out on fire. It was fun to all of a sudden look up, and I'm like, whoa, we're up 20 points. That doesn't happen very often. And then it was nice for the girls coming in. They got to relax, and they got to come in and play some basketball, and they weren't under pressure, and it was just kind of snowballed. Everybody picked up. Everybody scored by half and had a rebound or two, and it was just one of those games where you leave and you go, well, that was fun. And we shot the ball well, which has kind of been, we've steadily been getting better, and hopefully that's a trend that will continue. But and then Saturday night on with Long Beach State, and they were kind of one of those teams that makes you play a little bit ugly. They play this zone where they get out and trap and play in the passing lane and disrupt you and don't let you do anything. You don't get into the flow very well. But we battled. They took the lead late. We came back, and I thought the girls answered under pressure. Kenzie Johnston had just a monster game, played 40 minutes, and was just solid. So After all the hard work in the preseason, it was rewarding to see a couple wins finally come their way.
What's jumping out at you? The difference between last year's team and this year's team is essentially one player. You lost one senior, basically, and you got one new true freshman playing, and really other than it's the same nucleus beyond that. What are you seeing different so far that you like a lot between the two teams?
Well, we'll pop in a video from last year, Denny, and I mean, after about 2 passes, somebody was open and somebody screwed up a defensive, assignment, a switch, a hedge, something, an on-ball screen. Put it on this year, and I'll be watching it, and wow, those are some pretty good sequences right there of defense. Yeah. We actually made it 5 passes before we had any kind of breakdown. But the girls are playing much better defense. We got a lot of kids taking charges, which is big. It's always been something we're proud of here at Montana. And I just think they're more comfortable with the offense, more comfortable with what we're doing. We've changed a few things, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same package we've had. And it's amazing what a year under their belt does. And they think of themselves as upperclassmen, even though most of them are just sophomores.
I guess I would add to that, too. And I know you value my professional opinion.
I do.
It calls me all the time.
As do I.
I do.
I got it, Schweyen again. I would say composure because you pointed to the Long Beach State game, the second game of the Holiday Classic, and you're right. It was just kind of they made you play a little bit ugly. You got a little tiny bit of a lead, but they never overtook you. You kept them not so much at arm's length, but maybe hand length or wrist length. Just enough, and I think that spoke to the team's composure. I guess not to drudge up a ugly memory here, but last year the home game against Montana State went to overtime, and they came on really strong the last couple minutes of regulation to win that game in overtime. And that if that team Long Beach State might have gotten away or overtaken that team.
Right.
But this year's team, they just seem there's a lot more poise, a little more confidence, a lot more poise out there. It seems like
you nailed about 4 of the words we had up on the board before the game. Composure being one in big letters.
I love this.
Yeah,
guy.
I mean, was he in on the pregame talk?
He might have. He's at the facility.
I've invited myself many times.
Yeah, no, pivot, poise, and I can't remember what we had another
Composure,
P word up there,
poise, yeah.
and composure was all by itself. But no, that's something that this group, when we play teams like that, we've got Stephen F. Austin tomorrow night. They're very similar in that respect. They're a talented team. They're 6-1, only lost to K-State. They play a little bit the same way. We're seeing lots of 2-2-1 press from people. They're kind of junk type defenses and play some zone, and so I expect it'll be an interesting game as well because they just don't let you run your stuff very much.
I'm going to come to the game.
Oh, my goodness.
I am.
Oh, so
I hate Stephen F. Austin.
Oh, yeah, you probably played them in football.
Nacogdoches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what an ugly town.
I think your first
Maureen Gallagher came down there last year and visited us.
Your first was that your very first game as a color analyst was at Stephen F. Austin? I think it might have been. We played him in football a few times.
You know what? It might have been.
Yeah, I think we had a home and home arrangement with them at one time.
It might have been.
Yeah.
It was hot.
Yeah,
it was very hot.
Goes back
very
a little
warm,
ways.
humid.
The team, Shannon, the Lady Griz, shot better at home over the weekend. You said that's something you'd like to see continue. Or are there little indications that could be a trend? Do you feel better about the shooting touch too?
Yeah, I do. Jace Henderson's been such a pleasant surprise for us. She's just coming on, and she played 36 minutes in that game, and just felt like I couldn't take her out. She's shooting close to 50% from the field. Haley Nicholson, who also made all-tournament team, had a great weekend, and she's shooting the ball well. And then we're getting Taylor Goligoski back into the situation a little bit. She's still kind of nursing that thing. She's not 100% yet, but that's our leading scorer from last year, and
right.
She literally has not. She's still not starting. She still hasn't quite gotten back, and we need to get her involved. And as soon as we start getting her into the mix a little bit more, I anticipate that will continue to get better.
Love Taylor. I've known Taylor since she was probably 6 years old.
Really?
Dad used to bring her to our softball tournament.
Oh, yeah.
She'd be out there. I mean, fielding the ball. You know how good of an athlete she is.
Yeah.
I mean, and she's a fellow Polak. So that's my
There you go.
maiden name was Koznoski.
Oh, really?
Ski.
Interesting.
Goligoski.
Didn't know that about you.
That's right. Me and Jason are buddies, and I can't wait to see her play. It's been a long time.
Yeah, she's excited to get back out there. She's a competitor. It's been a frustrating injury, as anybody who goes through that type of thing knows. You just want to get back out on the floor and be your old self. And
is it just kind of a little tweaky,
Well,
kind of a
yeah,
twinge
it's
in there
been-
that makes you a little bit
Must
reluctant
have
to go?
tore it a little bit or something.
Yeah,
Just
it was
having some trouble
a
with
hip thing that turned into a quad thing to a groin thing to a who
Well,
knows
that's
what.
because you're favoring it.
Exactly.
You know, and then you start
Yeah.
messing everything
Yeah,
else
it
up.
all works together.
Yep.
Yeah.
The knee bones connect.
Yep.
Well, and you're also, before we go to break here, one more question about the roster. You're also getting close. Lady Griz fans haven't not had a chance to meet the entire team yet because you anticipate adding another player probably in the next couple weeks, right? In Caitlin Lonergan.
Yes. Yeah, Caitlin
Tell us a little bit
Lonergan.
about Caitlin. That's an interesting story.
Yeah, she's a 6'2" post player. She was from Bozeman High School. Her senior year, she was MVP of the state volleyball tournament. Sentinel Spartans lost to them. She was just a
But not this year.
beast on the volleyball court.
Not this year.
And then MVP of the AA basketball tournament as well. We recruited her. She was one of our #1 Montana kids. And, initially she was telling us she was going to go basketball. And then just out of nowhere, she committed for volleyball. Played her first season at Montana State for volleyball and then ended up transferring back here for basketball. So we're elated to have her. She's a great kid. She's really working hard. And she had to sit a full
Right.
calendar year.
So she'll be eligible after Christmas then?
Correct. Yeah, grades
And she
get
will
posted.
be a sophomore?
Yes.
Okay.
She
all
will
right.
be a sophomore.
And
So-
you're pretty excited about her.
Yeah. She's, I was saying if she was a football player, she'd be one heck of a tight end. I mean, she's 6'2". You throw anything up there, she catches it and comes down and crowds with it. And she's just a big, strong, good athlete and rebounder. I mean, rebounder like Ann Lake. I mean, she can go get it, go
Really?
get it, go
You just
get it.
compared her to Ann Lake?
I did.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay.
So we're excited about
a
getting
taller
her.
Ann Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me. Ann Lake could throw me around. And she did. McGill Hall. Oh, boy. Anyways.
So you do anticipate to possibly even by the start of Big Sky Conference season, you're just kind of just waiting for all the transcripts, paperwork, all of that stuff to get done, which hopefully is in the next week or two. And she's free and clear.
Grades get posted, and she should be good to go. We open up at home after conference or for start of conference with NAU, and so we'll have her hopefully that weekend, which would be great. And she's excited to get going. It's been a long time waiting, and unfortunately she didn't get to make the Cancun trip with us. And Scott wanted to come along. I know that.
So did Rob. Rob Balance wanted to come along too.
But it was a lot of fun. The girls had a great Thanksgiving down there, and there was some good basketball. Mississippi State, who was in the national championship, knocked off UConn, was down there. Arizona State was down there. South Dakota, who was a good team, who Stephen F. Austin just beat by 20 last week. Lots of good basketball, and it was they did Triple Crown runs that tournament down there, and they just do a heck of a job.
Cool.
Nobody got kidnapped. Nobody. Okay.
Nope. We all made it.
Well, when we come back, we're going to keep Shannon around for one more segment. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we're going to find something to talk about.
Okay.
When we come back, right after this, Sports Talk Tonight, Gerns and Bedard.
Sports Talk Tonight, live from the KGVO studio.
Missoula Sports.
We're back. Thank God. Sports Talk Tonight. Brought to you in part by Bell McCall Ford. Great selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Bell McCall is your locally owned low-cost auto dealer for over 100 years in beautiful downtown Hamilton. By Granite Pharmacy, locally owned and operated pharmacy on South Avenue between Shopko and Big Sky High School. Find them at granitepharmacy.com. Get your flu shot today. And by the Peak Health and Wellness, with 3 premier facilities in Missoula and a dedicated staff to help you achieve and maintain your health and wellness goals, Denny. Getting better at those, aren't I?
I always thought you were good at those.
Well, I'm just trying to emulate you.
I only hog them during the football show because I like to hear me talk, but you do just fine.
Well, I'm too busy stuffing my face.
Well, yeah,
Thanks,
there is
Dale
that.
Rieger.
There is that.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, and socializing because everybody knows Gerns, and so we're trying to do a pregame show on the stage at the Grizzly Scholarship Association tailgate site. You're leaning over the table, shaking hands,
Sneaking
You're
a shot
chitty
of,
chat,
sneaking a shot of Fireball.
Yeah,
Breaks
yeah.
marker, thank you.
Yeah. But somehow you maintain your focus. I don't know how.
Denny, it's a practice trait.
I guess.
Practice trait.
Pretty impressive.
Just trying to impress you, buddy.
Thank you.
And
you do.
So we've got Shannon Schweyen here in studio, the head basketball coach for your Lady Griz. Stephen F. Austin game tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, 6-1. Good team. This will be a really good test. Like they've only lost to who?
Kansas State.
Kansas State.
Yeah.
Which is a Big 12 school for those of you who have your head in the sand. Then on Sunday, you guys go to Fresno and play Fresno State. How are they?
They're struggling a little bit this year. They lost one of their leading scorers. I think they've won two.
You feel sorry for them, huh?
I do.
Yeah.
2 games. I think they've won. I haven't looked up too much ahead, but should hopefully be one that we could go down and maybe sneak out of California with a win. That'd be great if we could. But
sneak in and out, watch the smoke, watch the
right,
flames.
that's right.
Back.
Yeah.
And then you've got something really, really cool and exciting happening on next Wednesday.
We do. We've got over 5,000 K through 8th graders rolling into Dahlberg Arena, and tip-off is at noon. And I wanted to make sure and get the word out that all season ticket holders, it's general admission for the kids. So they're letting all the grade school kids sit down in the lower bowl, and it's actually a sellout with the 5,000 kids and our season ticket holders. But all season ticket holders are welcome to come up to the Sky Club and get away from the chaos and watch the game from up there. We're providing refreshments and a little bit of lunch up there for them. So, if you're a season ticket holder and just don't feel like sitting down there amongst it all, you're certainly welcome to still come and have some peace and quiet up there. It's going to be an interesting kind of noise. I've talked to people who have been to those games, and they just say it never quiets down.
Well, no.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
There's a little distraction going on there.
I pitched.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got Jay from the men's team. Jay Flores is going to do a great little Simon Says thing at halftime with the kids. We've got one of the local grade schools music programs going to sing the national anthem. We've got over 150 to 200 athletes who are volunteering to come meet all the buses, help get the kids seated, take kids to the bathroom. It's going to be interesting.
Good grief! How did this get started? Now they did this last week in Bozeman. I think Montana State hosted Wyoming, and they did the same thing. So where is this a nationwide program? How did this originate anyway?
There's been
because first off, the kids are not out of school. I mean, it's not Christmas break yet.
No, this is a field trip day,
and the game tips off at noon.
Yep,
so it's like a midday field trip, during a school day for these kids. So
and that's the thing, you had to have it work out to where we're on break because we couldn't do it if the students were at U of M and the parking wasn't available.
Gotcha. All right.
We've got every single beach bus in town rented out for this.
All right.
And then it had to coincide with a time with the schools that they could make it work as well because they have to get those kids back by 3 o'clock to catch their buses.
Absolutely.
So it all worked out this year. We've been kind of wanting to do it. I had a friend of mine who'd done it down at Weber, and they'd had great success there. They never drew at all until their grade school game. And so we kind of toyed around with it the last couple of years talking about it, and hats off to Mikkel Bennett and our marketing crew and Bryn Malloy. They've done a great job getting it going, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited just to see that place full like that. It's going to be a good game. Seattle U's having a good year, and so we'll see.
What a great deal for the community. I mean, just to get interest into college athletics and Lady Griz basketball specifically. And I mean, you're going to have some of those kids. Mom, Dad, you better buy a season tickets next year because we want to go back. And
yeah,
I mean,
that's the neat
win-win
thing
for everybody.
Yeah, hopefully it will create some interest in women's athletics in general, and especially in Lady Griz basketball, and we'll get some new fans out of it. And there's a lot of people who, a lot of children who never get the opportunity to go to something like that. And so, hats off to these teachers who are biting the bullet and taking these kids over here. I'm hoping we don't get a big snowstorm, and hopefully it'll stay nice and like the weather's been, and make it easy because we've got buses coming from Kalispell, over by Butte, over by Helena. Oh, wow. So they're coming from all over the place, and so it's going to be quite an event.
Wow. What time do they all get there? Because I need to know these things because, grumpy old man, I don't want to get off my parking lot.
Young whippersnappers.
I don't know, Denny. They've got the buses staggered coming in. I would imagine from 11:15 till
Fine. I'll be there
till noon.
before 11.
So, yep.
All right.
Oh boy.
What's jumping out at you? I know a couple teams have some major wins so far this year. I mean, noticeable signature wins. What's jumping out at you the most in the Women's Big Sky Conference so far this year?
Well, Northern Colorado early was really catching everybody's eye. They had some big wins. I would say North Dakota has been impressive in the preseason, as Idaho has also had some big wins. They had a girl, they've got 2 3-point shooters over there. They're just unbelievable. One of them, I believe, went 9 for 10 last night against Fullerton from 3. They just, when they get the threes rolling, they are just hard to guard. It's been great to see our league go out and get quality wins, against Pac-12s and all sorts of schools. And, happy to see we're always pulling for each other. Anybody that gets a big win, you're texting them and telling them nice job and way to compete. And so it's going to be a tough year in the league for sure. I think there's a couple schools who have a few injuries here and there, but, it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out.
Talking about the season thus far, and I think I was most curious about Sophia Stiles.
Mm-hmm.
How has she progressed since she's gotten here, and what do you expect of her this year and moving forward?
Well, she's quickly becoming, a big fan favorite. People are excited about her. She's so fun to watch. When she's out there, she is typically getting at least one breakaway steal a game. She is just picking things up more and more every game, getting more comfortable. She's great instincts on D. The other night she had 5 blocks in the game. They only gave her 4, but she came out of nowhere, blocked one out of the air, went down at the end of the quarter and almost made the shot at the buzzer. And just great IQ for her age and for a freshman to come in. And she's just going to be an exciting player. I know most people that are coming right now, she's kind of what they leave talking about, She's a beautiful athlete to watch. I mean, she's slender, but she's quick, and she kind of floats around out there on D, and we're working hard on trying to get her to talk more on defense out there, but she's an exciting one.
What do they put in the water in Malta?
I know,
I
unfortunately.
got that Malta connection working again.
I know. I don't know if there are any more coming up, but she's a good one.
Is she? I don't want to say pressure, but she was one of those players. She was one of those recruits with a whole lot of headlines. Anybody who followed women's basketball or girls' high school basketball in the state of Montana were pretty familiar with Sophia Stiles, which I think that would probably put a little extra pressure on a kid. And I know that you had to soul search the whole thing to redshirt her, not to redshirt her. I think you're probably glad that you did not, but the option was out there. You were considering that, but just the makeup of the team, and again, not having Kaylee Valley or Alicia Harris again this year, it kind of forced you to, make some different decisions. But she looks very poised to me out on the court for the most part. And when she makes a mistake, I think she seems to, acknowledge. She at least acknowledges the coach when the coach tells her she goofed up. She goes, "Yeah, I know, I know."
Yeah.
But she probably came in with a little more pressure than maybe some of the recruits that weren't necessarily the Montana Gatorade Player of the Year or anything like that.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, people that not only just follow basketball, but she was an outstanding track athlete in high school, and so her name was out there.
Yeah,
I mean, people were very aware of her, and we didn't quite know. I mean, her being in Malta, we obviously had seen her play. She'd come to camp with her team, but she'd never gone out and played AAU ball in the summers competitively. So we really didn't know how she'd stack up against, some of these quicker kids. And so it's been a bit of a learning process for us as well to see how good is she, how quick is she, can she handle against these little tiny guards that are really quick and fast. And so never seeing her compete at that level, it's been interesting to watch her blossom, and she's just, a great kid to be around every day. She wants to get better. She's hard on herself. We're always telling her, don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing great. And I like that last year I think we had a lot of freshmen who were just happy to be playing.
Yeah.
And she's not satisfied with what she's doing, and I think that is a sign of a real competitor.
Well, that had to have been a play as far as her defense is concerned and her potential and skills of defense, because a lot of times when I think Taylor Goligoski would be one of the first to tell you that nobody expected her to play defense in high school. But
those Polish people.
Yeah, but that had to have been a pleasant surprise that she had that aptitude coming in as a true freshman.
Oh, yeah.
You don't always get that.
No. And like I said, I don't think we were even aware of how good her instincts really were. Nothing against Class B basketball at all. I mean, there's some great them and Fairfield, their state championships. I think they played like 7 years in a row or something like that. I mean, it was just Malta Fairfield. But other than that, the level that Sophia had not played at was just such a big question mark. So,
right.
Other than coming to team camp and occasionally getting to play some of the AA schools, but she's been one of those that is as advertised and even better than we had hoped.
Excellent.
This is a weird question, but as a coach, and when you're determining whether or not to redshirt a girl, because if you redshirt them the first year and then they get injured, you lose that year.
Well, anymore, you have a pretty good chance of getting a medical redshirt anymore. So there's not that fear of, will you lose a year if you have a season-ending injury? Most kids nowadays are, I don't want to say everybody, but most cases allow for a pretty good chance of getting a medical.
I know just in determining whether or not to redshirt them and just say, okay, I'm not going to redshirt you, you don't even worry about that kind of stuff?
Not too much anymore. I mean, we should probably after the last couple of years we've had. But, no, you just hope that they'll stay healthy. And, the main concern was just, are we going to be able to give her enough playing time?
To make it worth taking her out.
Right.
Exactly.
And, I think if Taylor would have started the year out healthy and been playing healthy, and Maddie Schoening she had the kidney issue early and things like that going on. If we'd been 100% healthy, I don't know if we would have, I think we probably would have ended up redshirting her. But I think it's been a blessing in disguise. And, she's getting good minutes. I think a lot of those other players that played 30-some last year, they're better players right now playing 26, 27,
exactly.
and not playing as many minutes, and tired mistakes and defensive mistakes. And they have a little bit more in the tank when they're out there. So I think it's been good for the team.
Well, cool, Miss Schweyen. You're welcome to stay for our final segment.
Sure.
Because I might need your help with my stupid athlete of the week.
Really? Oh, I always like these.
And my steal of the week. So I guess we're going to keep Shannon here with us, and we will talk about some more nonsense. Our nonsense, Denny, not Shannon.
Did you redshirt?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Thank God.
That was his year with the Lady Griz.
That was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Denny, I came here, I didn't know how to drink a beer. I needed that first year.
I had never noticed before. During the Holiday Classic, break between games, I went up into the Hall of Champions area. I was making my way around the arena to go visit Jennifer for a couple minutes. Never noticed before, you're on the 1994 football poster.
Woo!
Yes,
you look great.
And my kid likes to point that out. He goes, is that a mullet, Dad?
Bi-level. Called the bi-level.
Yeah. Are those steps in your hair? Yeah. Are those earrings? Yeah, all the above. Thanks a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, we got to go. We'll come back and wrap this up in just a minute on Sports Talk Tonight.
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
We are back. Sports Talk Tonight. Gerns and Bedard, brought to you in part by Jerry Wessel's Tire Center. The locally owned Les Schwab Tire Center provides the best tire value promise. Visit them online at jerrywesselstirecenter.com. By CHS Mountain West Co-op, Western Montana's source for Cenex fuel, feed, fertilizer, clothing, and tack for over 75 years. And as always, our guests are brought to you by First Montana Bank, your home for free Centennial checking plus unlimited cash back every time you use your card. Online at firstmontanabank.com.
It is, of course, time for Scott Guernsey's Steel of the Week. That brought to you by True North Steel, Western Montana's industry leader in quality, manufactured, and fabricated steel products.
Denny, I'm not going to lie to you. I could try to lie and BS my way through this, but I do not have one. But one just popped into my head.
So you do have one?
I do, but I didn't, but I do.
Okay.
And Guernsey's Steel of the Week.
I think I got that.
The wildfires in California have stolen our basketball game this evening.
God, that's good.
Griz versus the Bruins. We were going to win. And that dang LeVar Ball is out there setting fires.
Oh, man.
Starting fires, he's setting fires. And he's not even, what's spewing out of his mouth is what is starting the fires.
Is this kind of your subtle segue into Stupid of the Week, too?
No, but it could be.
It could be. Yeah.
It very well could be.
Yeah, Mr. Ball could be your Stupid Athlete of the Week.
Well,
he could achieve Johnny Manziel status, I think. He still leads your Stupid Athlete of the Week award.
If that's my dad, off tangent here,
yeah,
I tell him to shut the heck up, leave me alone, and let me go to college. And I don't understand how the kids are actually letting him maneuver everything. I mean, it's.
In case you have not heard yet and you're wondering, what is Gurns talking about? They canceled the University of Montana at UCLA basketball game tonight. The men's game was scheduled for 9 o'clock and postponed because of wildfires in the Los Angeles area.
Fire and brimstone.
Scott's Impromptu Steel of the Week brought to you by True North Steel.
Yes, Denny. But I tell you what, I do have a good one for Stupid Athlete of the Week.
Okay.
And we've already used, we could, it's like you said, it's like Manziel again. We could use Ball over and over and over
ad nauseum.
Over. But my Stupid Athlete of the Week, and a guy that I completely, not that I had I kind of wanted to be like him because he seems like he has a pretty fun life. And he is, I'm assuming, a fellow Polak. His last name is Gronkowski. But if you watch the replay of they were playing the Buffalo Bills, rookie cornerback makes an interception. He's laying on the ground, out of bounds, face first, and they described it as a WWE wrestling move. Gronkowski took like 3 or 4 steps and
easily.
And just buried a forearm shoulder right into the back of the guy's head, neck area. Went into concussion protocol. Just about the dirtiest, cheapest shot you'll ever see. And I cannot believe that they only gave him a 1-game suspension. And the thing that really ticks me off is he appealed it. He appealed it. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
You just look like an idiot.
Yeah, that was so blatant.
And you know what? If I'm NFL,
for what reason? You're not frustrated. You're not losing the game.
Well, yeah, they were.
You're getting the ball plenty of times. You had like 6 or 7 catches, but you're not being ignored in the offensive scheme. Why are you that frustrated?
If I'm the NFL, he comes and appeals, and you go, you know what? Let's make it 2 games because you're an idiot. Really, one of the best.
Kind of like punishing a kid, you're grounded for 2 weeks. You want to make it 3?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe come over there. Yeah. Gotcha.
Anyways, that's my stupid. Shannon, you great minds think alike. Apparently,
I was miming it. Yeah.
Boy, just
wow.
That was a bad one.
Bad one, very bad, and one of the better players in the NFL. And boy, you do that, and yeah. Anyways. Hey, what you got going on this weekend? Hey,
well, first off, a reminder: if you can't make it to the game tomorrow night, we sure hope you can. You can hear it all right here. We'll have the pregame at 6:30 with Tom Stage. Tip off at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Lady Griz basketball hosting Stephen F. Austin. I think it's a youth night promotion tomorrow night. I believe that kids 12 and under, and or if you've got your YMCA shirt on, those kids will be admitted free tomorrow evening.
Good to know.
And then once again, but. So that'll bring some kids, nothing like what's going to happen next Wednesday at noon in that oddity. But we will have the game right here on Newstalk 1290 KGVO, 1290 AM, 98.3 FM, if you can't make it. Same with Saturday or Sunday, Fresno State.
Sunday at Fresno. Yep.
Sunday.
And our new head
You've got a lot of traveling to do. You're going to rack up some frequent flyer miles,
right.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Our new head football coach, San Diego State, plays on December 23rd against Army.
The Armed Forces
in the Armed Forces Bowl down in Fort Worth, Texas.
Correct.
So I'm assuming it's going to be bowl game Saturday, Christmas Eve Sunday, Christmas on Monday, and into Missoula on Tuesday and getting to work.
Yep.
So, and I'm sure we'll hear some inklings of maybe some assistant coaches that have been possibly retained and maybe signed here in the near future, which will always be pretty interesting.
Breaking news.
Breaking. Do we want to break it now, or should we wait till it really happens? I mean, Denny.
Well, everything else is speculation on that deal, so I guess I could throw mine in. You know, there might be a San Diego State Aztec or two that wants to drop down and play for coach. You don't know.
You know, I would assume. I mean, that's usually how it happens.
And you know him. Well, you know him probably better than I do, but you know him well enough to know there is a certain kind of player that Coach Houck is going to look for. One's a tight end, which he just got. Another one is what he always liked to call the big back. Whether the big back was Justin Green or Lex Hilliard, Bobby has got to have the big back. Sure. So I would look for that to happen soon, too.
You know what? Look for the Bobby Houck offense to be multifaceted. I think
we should talk about that.
We've changed a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to be able to be exciting as well.
Well, and we'll talk about that. So I think his team scored more points than you realize.
All right, Denny. Hey, see you next week. Love you.
Got it.
Thank you, Shannon.
Bye. Thanks, guys.